Hello everyone, welcome back to our Paracord Planet Beginner Series. In this series we want to cover some of the basics of Paracord if you've never used it before. If you are brand new to Paracord, I recommend that you watch our first video, the introduction to this series. Otherwise, let's dive right in. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a fishtail braid, and that's used in bracelets and keychains and other Paracord projects. We'll be making a bracelet today. There's also lots of different ways that you can modify this weave, and we'll link to some of those videos in the description and on the end screen. For this project, you'll need about 8 to 10 feet of paracord. If you buy it from us, this is how it'll look. And then you'll also need a 3/8 inch paracord buckle. And then of course your paracord tools of a scissors and a lighter for sealing the ends. And then I have some optional tools here today too. And that's a small paracord bracelet jig that'll just hold things steady while you're working, and it helps you measure your bracelet accurately. And then I also have a paracord fid, which is a needle that screws onto the end of your paracord, and that gets it through some tight knots. And with that, let's get started. So if you have a jig, we'll begin by putting our buckle onto the jig. Just snap it into the ones attached. And then you'll want to find the middle of your paracord. So I often do that by finding both ends and then tracing it back to the middle. We'll put that onto the buckle with a cow hitch. So just put that fold down through the buckle. And then bring all of your cord through that loop that you just passed through the buckle. We have a video on setting up your paracord bracelet if you're unfamiliar with that process. The short of it is that you're going to bring your cord back to the other end and put both cords down through that end. Pulling one cord off to each side. Once you've done that, you just want to make sure that your cords are not twisted around each other. We want them laying in parallel with one cord off to each side. Now, before we begin, I have a quick note on sizing your bracelets correctly. If you've never done this before, you'll need to know the circumference of your wrist and then just add 1 inch to that. We have a video on that topic that we go into depth answering that question, but that's the short answer. So with that in mind, adjust your jig or your bracelet accordingly, and let's dive into the weave. I like to start with the right side cord, and we'll be moving that over to the left. Before we begin, we just want to make sure that there's some good tension on those middle lines so that our bracelet isn't all loose. Taking that right side cord, bring it over the first cord and underneath the second one. And we want to pull all that extra slack through. Pull that tight right up underneath your buckle. And then we're going to be doing the same thing with our left side cord. So this top cord on your left, make sure it's pulled tight, and then we'll be going over the top of that first cord, underneath the second, and pull all the extra cord through. And then I like to work from the left side when I'm making this bracelet, so I'm going to bring this right side cord back over to the left. Same way, over the first, underneath the second, and pull all the extra through. So then each time, we just want to pull our cord tight towards the top, grab that top cord on the left, bring it over to the right, back over to the left, tighten it down, and repeat. We'll keep on going with this pattern until we reach the other end of our bracelet. And once you have a hard time fitting more knots in the middle, I'll give you some tips for that at the end. So I've reached the end, and it's getting a little bit tricky to fit the cord through the middle of the bracelet, but at some point it's going to help a lot to add a fid onto the end of your cord. And again, if you don't have a fid, that's all right. You can squish your weave just tighter up towards the top to make a little bit more room to keep on feeding that through, and then once you're done, kind of slide it back down. But I am going to do it with a fid here. And so to use a fid, you just want to make sure that you have a good melted end on your cord, and then screw on that fid. And that gives us a nice sharp point to easily bring it down through the middle of the bracelet. Then I think fishtail bracelets look best if you end both cords in the middle. So we'll take that top cord on the left again, add the fid one last time, and just bring it down through the middle. We won't complete that weave. We'll just end both of our cords right there. That way we can cut it and melt it on the underside and you can't see the ends. So we'll take it off of our jig and do just that. We'll flip it over on the back side here. So we've got both those cords coming out the middle of the bracelet. So we'll cut them about 1/8 of an inch away. And then before those have a chance to slip through, you just want to quickly melt the ends. So we'll take that lighter and hold it near the ends, but don't hold the ends in the flame, or you'll probably melt them a little bit too much, or melt the things around it. And then we'll just take the metal part of the lighter and push them against the bracelet, and that gives a nice flat finish so that our cords can't pull through. Now that we're done, go ahead and try on your bracelet for size. Perfecto. If you're brand new to Paracord, I hope you learned something new in this video. Be sure to stick around, we're going to publish lots more videos in this series. We'll put links in the description to where you can find the supplies that we used. So that's Paracord, the buckles, and also some of the optional tools that we showed you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.